Yeah. All right. We're back again. As the last video on the channel you have seen, or if not, the link will be down in the description below. We tested my friend Rob's Evil Eye deck versus Zoo, Orchist, Shaddoll Invoked, and a personal favorite of mine, Gren Maju. This is just gonna be a little deck profile on his version, and on my version, we're just gonna see the changes. Like the couple of cards that we all know is gonna be a threes, like Surzeal and the Field Spell, and pretty much like that. But otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
there are some changes. So starting over here, we got 3 Ash Blossom. Um, Why'd you choose that one over any other hand trap?
Well, like 3 Ash Blossom, like it's like a very generic thing. Like
Yeah,
you could also debate using other hand traps.
yeah,
I just feel like it really comes in handy just to stop your opponent from getting like a crucial part of their play.
yeah. Like another reason I personally choose Ash in a lot of my decks to main, because it's the most generic thing. So you can hit pretty much almost every deck. It hurts invoked. It murders shit all if you hit them at the right point.
But also, it's
Um,
just because like what deck does not add, send, or summon from deck? Like DD Crow is very specific what decks it hurts, and there's
yeah,
other decks that DD Crow doesn't do
but the
fucking.
decks that DD Crow hurts are as follows: Eldritch, Adamantipator. It does do decent bit against Evil Eye. If you DD Crow like the
Yeah,
Celine, the
depending
Graveyard
on what
Effects no
DD
more.
Crow it can.
Um,
Depending on what DD Crow, it will hurt. But I
uh,
just feel like Ash is the
and
most
an
generic
important thing,
one.
we found this out in the Maji matchup later on when we went to another match. Uh, uh, D Shifter murders this deck
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of their stuff relies on like what's engraved. Like Gorgon needs to have stuff engraved. You know,
For our attack.
for the attack gain, and a lot of this stuff that makes the deck go
Celine does.
crazy relies on stuff being engraved.
Celine does as well. Because you need to banish an evil eye card in your grave to add this card back from grave.
Yeah, to set it, which is like the main recursion. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we have 2 Basilisks. Would you change this, or would you put more or less in?
I feel like 2 Basilisk is like the perfect ratio. Like when I was using one, I didn't see it enough. When I was using three, I would see it too often, or like wish I saw something else. And but like I feel like two is just like a preferred number because like yes, some people say like you want to see it sometimes, but not all the time. But in this, it's true because it's searchable. So along with with
Yeah.
Peladon, you have
Uh,
5 copies
on top
of
of that,
Awakening.
pretty much any card that says Evil Eye in the deck is searchable through Surzeal.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
So yeah.
Surzeal can search the field spell, then the field spell can search any of the monsters, including another Surzeal.
Mm-hmm. So
Um,
also, uh, here's a little there's a couple different like convoluted things you can do like if you don't open like Surzeal or something, or if you open Surzeal but it gets ashed. Traditionally the combo would be you would get Evil Eye spell and Trap Engrave, you would summon Basilisk, use Basilisk effect to dump Celine, and then you would add it back, and then you would get your thing off.
mhm.
You will see this combo in our video. I believe in the third or fourth duel, he ashed me, but I was able to come back by just
Also,
doing that.
that time I asked you, I think you just had a second Celine in hand.
Yes, but
Um,
remember, but if I didn't, I was still fine. But I just did have two, so I still
uh,
went through it.
so one of the Catoblephus, would you change this?
Okay, Lepus, I'm like debating like lower, like cutting or like keeping in. Like it's just because it has come in sometimes. It has definitely helped me. But like you could definitely make the debate to cut this and like a little more
Yeah.
further testing. I will decide whether I'm gonna keep it in or take it out.
Uh, Personally, I don't run this in mine. I don't believe it because, yeah, it's pretty much a protection of Celine for a turn, but that doesn't really matter too much. It's
It's like
also
I said, I'm
it's
debating
also not
cutting it.
even as good as Basilisk because Basilisk, when you summon it from hand, it goes right to grave. Catoblephus, you need to banish it.
it's like I'm saying, I'm debating cutting it or not. Just as
Yeah.
like, like probably with a little further testing, I probably will end up cutting it because it hasn't come in often enough, like Basilisk, to
Mm-hmm.
warrant like the awkward number, having it awkward.
To Medusa. Feel good with this
Very
changing?
similar. It's very similar reasoning with Basilisk. Once again, like its effect is good, but it can hurt you by having it sometimes. And once again, it's searchable, so if you need it, you can. It's and it's also a DD.
Yeah, it is a DD Crow that hurts Eldritch.
Call by, but it doesn't make it.
Yeah. Then triple Surzeal, which is kind of obvious. It's the best one to get.
Yeah, call by as like it has come up just like so often when I have this like and it's helped my plays. So like I really just in the main deck
Yeah.
and same and two awakening is same reasoning for Medusa and
Next
Basilisk.
we got triple Cavalier, pretty obvious. You really don't want a hand trap. You really don't want to get hand trapped.
Yeah, that's
Um,
what. Yeah, I
so
explained that.
and also like against the Eldritch matchup, Call by the Graving and an Eldritch,
Mhm.
when they discard it for cost is nice.
Yes, very
Um,
nice.
and then we got two Awakening and one Confrontation.
Okay,
Um,
the reasoning with the two awakening is once again similar reasoning with Basilisk and Medusa. It's searchable, and I like to see it sometimes, but it can't hurt me sometimes. Because like if I see it but not any other monsters, it's all of a brick. And confrontation's just a good searchable destruction.
it's also just a searchable cosmic,
Yes, but you don't have to pay the thousand.
and you don't have to pay the 1,000. Personally, I think in my deck you'll see later on when I just show it, maybe a full on in depth profile of it. Uh, Later, depending on how good this video does, I'll explain more about why I run it in more than one. Um,
I
but
I side deck another one.
next we got three of the field spell and then one terraforming to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Getting the field spell gets you to Sergio Celine, which is pretty much almost your end board, almost 90% of the time.
Very true.
Kind of obvious. Then two of the Gorgonio equip, and then two Celine. Preferably, I don't like this one, because the only relevant effect is the thing that it becomes Evil Eye Celine, um, and the graveyard effect, but that means you're relying on your opponent to draw it to like kill it, and I mean the monster attack gain. That one means you're so late in the game that you're letting your opponent just swing over your stuff and attack over your stuff. It doesn't even give the monster attack protection as does Celine.
So let me just clarify. Like, so two Gorgon and two Salim is like the pretty much like the standard ratio for most Evil Eye decks. Like like once again I've been debating the ratio with this.
Yeah,
Like
that's the
either
kind of
lower.
thing. As long as you're running like Celine and Sergial, you're pretty much fine.
Yes, I've just been debating like cutting, lowering it or increasing Celine.
Yeah,
But I'll just have to do a little more further testing on what ratios I work the best. This is more of just the filler ratio, and then I'll adjust it when I with a little more further testing of it.
yeah. Um, then we got two reemergence. This is just summons one or two tokens. This card is very nice. Because it can help make the access code talker.
Well, also yeah, because it does lock you into fiends, but you can just do that, then link into two Karibo's IP.
Actually, you can't special summon after it resolves except for fiends.
Yes.
But
So
you have plays because you can turn it into like Phoenix or
there's other
Cerberus.
you can do to get around that restriction.
Well, you can't get around the restriction, but you can turn it into like Cerberus and stuff, and then the turn after that by making those links and everything. If you're able to revive them back,
Mm-hmm.
or you're able to get it back, or you're able to summon them back, you still have that link rating applied.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. One repose is continuous. It says it makes it so it's like Eater of Millions for the deck. And
It's
if it's
just
popped, you can target 3
mhm.
Banish Evil Eye cards and return them to the grave. And then it's
uh,
also on activation, banish
mhm.
an Evil Eye and draw 1.
It's just to get rid of more problematic monsters, like monsters that can't be destroyed or like can't be targeted. Like this is
You
just
can
gets
kill an
rid of.
Abramax with it
Mhm.
easily. Because
It just
it
gets rid of
doesn't target.
problematic.
You target it for attack, and then in damage step, and end of damage step, it does after damage calculation. That's actually a nice little combo, having repose and the field spell up,
Mm-hmm.
because you'll attack with a massive Surgial. Surgial won't die because it's equipped with Selene, and then damage calc. You take the damage, but then the field spell reflects it at your opponent,
And then
and
it gets
then
banished.
repose triggers, non-targeting banishes it. So it's a nice little thing that you can do. Then the last spells are just triple extra. The only cards that you care about are the Zeraziel,
And
and
and they
Gorgon.
both run it through.
And the one thing about Zeraziel that's important to remember is it doesn't have to be a 26 attack, a higher attack original. So if you have like Surgial at 27 or something like that, or however much it is, 16, it's 16. So if you have it at like 26, you can link someone into into Zeraziel, and it can get that second attack.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, same hours as Decode, so it's pretty good. Then traps, triple crackdown. Personally, I don't agree with this at all, but I agree with crackdown, but not at 3. I prefer it at 1 or 2 because it targets. So it's not like it's like that kind of hurts, and also it can attack, and also the effects are negated. So
Okay, now let me give a little reasoning behind why I use it at 3-1. Because, like, at most decks, it just leaves a monster on your board that's sort of useless. But with this deck, I can, with my Gorgon Empress of the Evil Eye, I have a reason for stealing my opponent's monster. I can, like, use a leftover Basilisk on field and link in with monster to go into Gorgon.
mm-hmm.
It's more of just to steal opponent's monsters and then link into Gorgon.
Yeah. Then we got 1 defeat, double retribution. The common ratio is always 1 defeat, then either 2 retribution or 3 retribution. Retribution is pretty much a walking solemn judgment.
Yes, and the reason behind this.
Without the life point play. And then
Yeah.
defeats is a compulse.
Yes. Retribution is good when you open it because it can stop you from getting lightning stormed or other back row removal. So this is more of just protection for your Cillian, really.
Yeah. It's pretty
And
much
then
Cillian protection also if your opponent's like evenly or like,
Mhm.
It doesn't negate cost. It negates activation, so
Yep.
and something nice that you could do is if you do it against like a lightning storm, they can't use it for the rest of the turn.
And as well as if you
No,
control
it can't be
if you
negated, so it's pretty much like
yeah,
an access. It's like a spell speed 4,
yes.
so they can't judgment it,
Mhm.
which is nice.
And then imperm enough said there it's sort of just to stop
Yeah,
problematic cards
it
again.
stops meta cards. Also, if your opponent's dumb and activates it in the same column, then really not gonna. Then imperm becomes even better because this is definitely a going first deck.
Mm-hmm. But we also
Side,
sided going second cards.
yeah, side deck. Triple Valor, triple Nibiru, the second confrontation, triple Lightning Storm, double evenly, and triple summon limit. Summon limit evenly and Lightning Storm and Nibiru pressure. Pretty common in the side.
You actually do not have the deck reloaded. I actually adjusted this before. This is a tournament. That was a tournament version I was using for the tournament yesterday. Would you mind reloading
This
the
is
deck?
actually the side deck. that he was running prior, which had double Nibiru, Dark Ruler, which is also pretty standard. The Lightning Storms evenly matched, and some limpets are. Then there can only be one is standard and a decent bit of decks, and then
It, it's
the
just because
second
it does
confrontation.
hurt. It does hurt my deck. There can only be one,
Not
but
really.
it's just like okay. Usually, I would then switch
Master
gears.
Sergial pass. That's
No,
pretty much
okay.
what you're
So
gonna do.
if I know what my opponent's using, I'll switch gears into a more of a floodgate version of the deck. But then I won't really go for like the link plays. I'll still more just sit on Serziel and like stop them from getting anything out.
Yeah,
That's why I basically side deck like the whole control version.
yeah. Then we got for an extra deck, one access code, pretty standard. It's a blowout. If you make it with like you can make it with IP in the nightmares, and not since Cerberus and Phoenix are different attributes. You can go like Cerberus Phoenix. That's double pop right there. Um, you have a decent bit of different attributes in your extra deck. I mean, you got dark, darks, earth, fire, light. If you have an Avramax on board, which I don't know why you'd be linking off an Avramax, but you have a decent bit. I think the most I've gotten off of access code was 4 pops. Dark, light, earth, fire. Um, yeah, but it was because I had something in hand. I went normal and I normal summoned an effect veiler, and that I normal summoned like what was it? No, it was needle fiber build. I was running needle fiber, so I normal summoned veiler
Mhm.
and went into it that way. Um, that's pretty much it for Rob's build. This is what he played with. He lost to Zoo and Shadal Invoked. Both very competent decks, so I can't really blame him. Personally,
And
this is mine. 3
mhm.
Ash, 3 Basilisk. No, 2 Basilisk, 1 Catalepus as well. The Catalepus just need to be cut because I find myself, when I have it, I just want another Basilisk.
Working. Yes.
Double DD Crow. Because in certain matchups, the DD Crow is really nice. 2 Medusa and 3 Cerseal, same as that. 2 Awakening. 2 Confrontation because it's a searchable Cosmic Cyclone. So like
Mhm.
any problematic field spell like a Mystic Mind chain
Yes.
pop.
Once again, that's why I side deck an extra confrontation if I'm going against a heavy back row
Yeah.
deck.
But
I'll just
another
side
reason
deck.
I run it more than one is because I'd prefer to search a Celine off of Sergio than have to search a Confrontation.
I've also been adjusting the ratio, so
Yeah.
I've had this at 2 before. I've just
Yeah.
seen, I'll just need to adjust the ratios to make sure this will
Yeah.
work.
Then three
I
field
might cut
spell,
Cattle Pluppers.
3 field spell, 1 terraforming. You want to see it? It starts your entire deck. 2 reemergence, 1 repose, same as Rob's, pretty standard. I just run the
Yeah.
3 Celine. I don't like the other equip cell. I find it a little bit more breaky than normal. Then triple X-Rev, and I also run 2 double Cosmic because that helps out Eldritch a little bit more. I mean, yes, you can Sergio pop you can Sergio pop the Eldritch and stuff to turn off their other traps, but you really don't normally want to. 1 defeat, double Retribution. Don't run Retribution to 3. It can brick a lot, and it probably will brick a lot if you're me. Then triple Imperm, double
You're not
Crackdown,
wrong.
stands to reason. 2 Dark Ruler, 2 triple Lightning Storm, triple Evenly, triple Summon Limit, pretty standard. And then I run double Appointer and double There Can Only Be One. There Can Only Be One doesn't really hurt the deck that much. I mean, you legitimately Sergio with a Celine Pass and like 4 back row. It's really nice.
That's why I side the whole thing. Like you can switch gears in the deck and
Yeah.
go for more of the control variant instead
Evenly
of
and Lightning
more.
Storm just for going second. Dark Ruler to deal with Adamancipator and Eldritch boards. Then a pointer is just to see like, oh, if they have like a one, if in their draw phase they have like a 1 card combo. Well, you're gonna take that 1 card combo away like a Jet Synchron. which is really nice. Um, then extra deck, 1 access code, 1 Appaloosa, 3 Gorgon, and 3 Zerezio. Then I have the triple Link Karibo, 1 Unicorn, 1 Cerberus, 1 Phoenix, double Cerberus. This deck has a little bit more problem with monsters than it does with back row, because not too many back rows hurt the deck. So
It's just like the classic side deck cards, like Cosmic Cyclone and Lightning.
yeah, but pretty much just for this video. Maybe I'll, depending on how this deck does, I will do deck profiles on the Orcus, Zoo, Shaddoll Invoked, and Maju decks. Uh, let's say this gets 10 likes, we'll do that. Maybe we should try for this Wednesday, or by the end of by the end of the week, we'll give you guys till just tell everyone about the video. Please tell them to like it if they enjoyed it, and until next time, signing off.